The War Arena scenery costs 2,400 league medals. It's insane. The price, but also the design. So forget about the price for just a minute and consider the scenery itself. Based on this Colosseum design, the scenery was obviously inspired from Greek and Roman history. And this is the perfect design for a war scenery because of the story it tells. You walk up the 85 steps looking around you as you climb. You see pits of lava and what appears to be a dragon's cave. Hopefully you won't be fighting any of those today. On the right, floating above the lava, is an eerie figure. You walk past legends forever memorialized as golden statues, and then you enter the arena through the golden gates with your army ready to take down the enemy base. The audience is surrounding you in the stands, cheering you on. You see giants, barbarians, archers, and others. They erupt as you step into the sandy Colosseum. On the northeast side, there's a select crowd of troops in the front row seats. Your gaze lands on another golden gate that they're sitting on either side of, guarded by two massive stone soldiers. They're standing at the entrance to a flight of steps which leads to the king's throne, where he will sit to watch another 2 to 3 minutes of entertainment. He's not there now, but you're sure that his grand entrance is imminent. The battle will start at any moment, and your only hope is that when this is over, you can sit down to a glass of elixir at the restaurant below the arena. Overall, this scenery has an incredible design. I love how there's the white stone and bright red fabric to contrast with the basic brown and orange colors of the scenery that we typically find in the other war sceneries. The white and red still match the theme, but it's a refreshing splash of color. There's kind of mixed feelings with me looking at this environment because it feels so epic that you would want to be in the center of the arena. But at the same time, there are so many clues that tell you that you do not want to be in there. For example, the stray weapons everywhere, the wrecked chariots, and the bones. There's a big emphasis on dragons in this scenery. There's a cave with something living inside it, and dragons tend to live in caves. There's also lots of dragon references, there's big piles of coins, and apparently dragons love to collect mountains of gold. There are some dragon statues, and there's dragon teeth / claws. There's also a really fun element which the designers added. On the left and right corners of the scenery, there are two dragon claws that appear to be holding up the scenery. Obviously, they're just carved out of the stone which the scenery is sitting on. The only Easter egg that I found in this scenery is a banana that's on the gate that you walked into on the bottom left. There are some other fun elements, but nothing that I would consider an Easter egg. There's actually not too much going on in this scenery. It's all mainly focused around the center, and rightfully so. Besides the bleachers, along the edges, it's mostly just rocks and lava, but it's actually hard to say that it feels empty. I think they balance the simplicity and detail very well. I always like to do a zoom test for sceneries, and if it looks good as a whole without seeing the close-up details, it's probably going to be an aesthetically pleasing design close-up. And this one looks pretty good. The War Arena scenery does have custom tiles. Now these ones are lighter than the other war sceneries, which I really like. It looks sandy, which makes sense for a Colosseum. It also has custom music. This music is very intense. There's a lot of chanting and there's deep boomings of a horn throughout it. It sounds like a climax of a movie. I love this music. It is definitely S tier in my opinion. The scenery doesn't have a parallax effect at all. There's no rocks or any elements that give it that depth effect, but parallax effects are usually pretty subtle, so this isn't a huge deal. And being a war scenery, it does not have any boat, airship, or forge that have the potential to be customized. As mentioned before, this cost 2,400 league medals. I think that is way too much league medals, especially because this is a scenery. Why does the scenery cost more than the legendary skins? Legendary skins are always more expensive than sceneries, except in the case of the pixel skins. If you do the math, 2,400 compared to 2,000 is like this scenery costing $12, assuming that the legendary skins cost $10. $12 is almost twice as much as a normal scenery. And as a war scenery, it doesn't even have all the potential features that a home village scenery has. Like I mentioned, there's no boat, airship, or forge that have the potential to be customized, so this is inherently going to have less value than a home village scenery. And the other thing is, you won't even see this scenery very often. Being a war scenery, the only people that are going to see it is you when you're customizing your war base and your opponent's attacking. Otherwise, the only people that would see it is someone spectating your war base, which from my experience is not very often. So it doesn't offer as much value as a normal scenery, and you won't see it as often as a home village scenery, so it really doesn't make sense to me for it to cost so many league medals. Now, technically it is free, but still, league medals are going to take a long time to accumulate, and the price is just not realistic to me. In spite of the price, I'm still putting the scenery in the S tier. The design is still so amazing, and disregarding the price, you're going to be getting an amazing scenery if you decide to buy this one. I'm putting all my league medal cosmetic reviews in this playlist right here. Make sure to check out the other League Hero skin videos.